everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl LB if you don't know me. Today I'm going to be doing a chit chat face mask type of video. I don't really know what to call it. I guess when I figure out the title for this video, then I'll know like what I really want to call it. But I'm going to be talking today about a topic that's I've just been thinking about all day, and doing a face mask. So if you're interested in that, then stay tuned. First things first, I want to start off by putting my hair back in a scrunchie, just so it's out of my way, out of my face, and I don't have to worry about it. The face mask I'm going to be doing today is the Aztec Healing Indian Clay mask, and you can use this on your face and your hair. I actually haven't done it in a while. I'm in desperate need of a face mask. I've been wearing makeup and stuff lately, and when I do wear makeup, I usually try to do a mask at least once a week, and I just haven't done a mask in a very long time. So I know I need to detox my skin. I do have pretty good clear skin. My regimen has been doing me well, but I know I need a detox, so today is a good day for that. But this is what it's looking like. I do have a video on my channel of me using this mask in my face, my hair, and like trying it out, and I really liked it that time, but I didn't record me mixing it. So if you want to see how I mix in what I put in it, then go check out that old video on my channel. I think it's from like 2 years ago, honestly, but it's not really hard. I can say it now. It's just the clay mask, of course, and then I mixed it with like a capful of apple cider vinegar, so a little bit of water to dilute it, and some olive oil, just so my skin is not super dry, because this mask tends to make your skin like really not dry, but like, what's the word I'm looking for, sensitive, like if you leave it on too long. So always dilute it, and don't just use apple cider vinegar. You can tell the difference maybe later. But yeah, this is what it's looking like, and I just mixed it with this little spatula. The topic that I'm going to be talking about today is why everybody should go to therapy at least once. At least once. More than once, but at least once. And let me just explain that a little clearer. Before I put this face mask on, I did like wipe my face with like a washcloth, but I didn't put anything on my face, so it's nothing on my face. I'm just gonna do this mask. But yeah, this is why I think everybody should go to therapy at least once. So I started going to therapy for the first time, I think, probably like my sophomore year of college, honestly. And that wasn't even me really going consistently. That was just when I went for like the first time. And I think what it is for me is that I changed. That's when I really like got deep into my major, when I actually picked my major, psychology, and just really focused on like the mind. And I had issues, still got some issues, but I had issues, and I knew I needed some type of help. And I didn't start going consistently, but I did like start vocalizing my emotions and stuff more around that time to people, but I definitely should have started going to therapy consistently at that time, but I didn't. I didn't really start going to therapy consistently until probably my senior senior year of college, my third, fourth year. That's when I started going like consistently. But on a consistent basis, I know y'all probably like, is it consistent or not? But on a consistent basis, probably right before the pandemic started and got like really serious. That's when I really started going to speaking to somebody professional on a normal weekly basis. And when I tell you, it's definitely been life-changing. So especially since I didn't know the pandemic was coming at the time, but right after I started going consistently, the pandemic hit, everything went virtual. And I'm not one of those people that's like, oh my god, if it's not in person, then I'm not gonna go. I will go. I'm gonna do like 2 layers of this mask because I don't know if it's as thick as I want it to be. We'll see. But yeah, it's not like I'm like, oh, it has to be in person or I'm not gonna go. When it went virtual and I started having my appointments and stuff virtual, it's very much still impactful for me. It was very much still impactful for me. I really had some very insightful, eye-opening meetings. I'm sorry, I'm looking in the mirror and in a camera, oh my God. I definitely had some eye-opening meetings that were very beneficial in virtual format, because at the end of the day, the point is you need to talk to somebody, and talking to somebody that doesn't really, you know, have a relationship with you, like a friendship or something, and just can provide like that unbiased point of view is really, really important. Because we all know, like, if we talk to our friends, our family about the same person or the same situation enough times, then eventually they're going to be tired of you, or you're going to be tired of telling them about the same thing. And people form biases that way, and that's not just for people, but like for experiences. So if you keep talking about your job and how crappy your job is and how much it like affects you on a regular basis every day, and but you don't want to quit or whatever, then over some years your friends will be like, it's been years, you could have been found a new job or do the same thing somewhere else. You just clearly don't want it that bad. So that's just like an example of like some biases that can like form, because eventually it's like, okay, I'm tired of hearing about you hating your job. You had all these years, you could have found a new job doing the same thing if it was really that deep. But when you talk to a therapist, they might provide some different insight, and you know, you might not have been talking to them about, you know, the same issues over and over again, but it's just in their, not just in their job description, but in their nature to not be biased. At least a good therapist, a good counselor is not supposed to be. So it can be really, what's the word? That can be really beneficial to people. Since I've been going to therapy consistently, because I'm not gonna say I took a hiatus, but when I moved and moved to a new area and had to find a new therapist after a while, it was really, really difficult because of the pandemic. Everybody was getting into therapy, which was wonderful. Everybody needed it. We was going through a lot, but that made it really hard to find somebody to meet with on a regular basis that didn't have like a wait list or something that was like 2 months, 3 months out. You gotta wait to talk to somebody. And that was the case for a lot of places. And I thought it was gonna be different considering the area I moved to, being DMV and like all different resources. But while it was so many resources, it was like everybody was booked up, and it just really sucked. And I couldn't talk to somebody for a long time on a consistent basis, and it definitely impacted my mental health 100%. Like, it really, really sucked. And I really, really wish I could have met with somebody consistently in those months that I wasn't. But when I started back doing it, I definitely could tell a difference. I feel like I'm painting a canvas or something. I advocate for therapy for everybody. Even, you know, I know I'm a psychology student. I'm an advocate for mental health. I feel like everybody should do what's best for them. But at the same time, let me tell you, let me put my mask down. Let me tell you. So many people ruin other people because they didn't get the help that they needed. So many people are detrimental in their relationships, how they connect with other people, how they socialize, you know, being able to maintain relationships or form them in general, or like, it's honestly, I don't know if it's just because I'm a psychology student, so I just look at everything through a different lens, but it's very frustrating when you see people that have been ruined to a certain extent by other people just because those people didn't want to get help to fix their issues that they knew they had prior to dealing with people who are having kids or, you know, having relationships, having friendships. Like, it's really exhausting. Like, really exhausting. But when it comes down to it, like, that's not something you can change after so much time has passed, has already been done. You can only move forward. But it's like, wow, I'm like this, or you made somebody like this because of what you went through, which might have been horrible, but you didn't get no help. But I think that's all, you know, related back to the stigma that's around mental health. The mental health stigma is so real. I mean, I feel like now it's becoming, I'm sorry, I'm just caking this on because I really want it to be layered. And it's gonna take a while to dry anyway. But the mental health stigma is like, while it's getting better now, it's still very much there. It's still people that don't want to acknowledge anxiety, don't want to acknowledge depression, don't want to acknowledge PTSD if you didn't go to a war. Like, y'all do know people can get, let me tell you, PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, post-traumatic. And like, a war is not the only traumatic thing that somebody can go through. Like, you can get PTSD from so many other things that will affect you so much moving forward. But a lot of people are like, oh, you ain't even, you know, you're not in the army, you ain't go to war, you ain't got no PTSD, you know, suck it up, move on. And that's like way easier said than done. And it's what a lot of people do, especially, hold on, especially older generations that have been like, what's the word I'm looking for? Conditioned to think like, you know, everything is better unsaid, and we don't really talk about that type of stuff, you know. And that's just like the honesty of how generations before us were. But the reality of the situation that a lot of people are realizing is that what the things that you go through affect you as a person. And when people make other people make other people. So those traumatized individuals will not deal with their trauma and traumatize other people, or raise traumatized people. And it's so avoidable. It's so avoidable. It's so avoidable. But taking it back to therapy, I know I'm working through still currently a lot of my traumas, a lot of my experiences that, you know, have made me think a certain way. And it's not the easiest process by chance at all, but you definitely can see like the changes. I can see the changes that it has made in me as a person, and even how I like form relationships and who I give my time to and everything. And that doesn't mean that therapy has fixed all my problems, because I still hold responsibility in that, and like, you know, working to change things about myself. But it definitely allows a different perspective, and it changes your mindset to become a better person. Because at the end of the day, if you're not working to become a better person than you were yesterday, then what's the point? You know, if you're so happy with, you know, being stagnant and realizing that you hurt people or are a hurt person, but you're just okay with that and don't want to change it, then what's the point? You're going to keep losing people you care about. You're going to keep isolating yourself. You're going to keep traumatizing people. You're going to keep being traumatized. You're going to keep hurting people. You're going to keep being hurt. Like, keep being miserable. What's the point? You know? So that's why I think everybody should go to therapy at least once, because everybody has, for the most part, everybody has a life worth living, and going to therapy could be that piece that you need to make you feel like you have a life worth living. Because a lot of people who have been through a lot tend to feel like it's no point, you know, and what's the point of life? What's the point of this? What's the point of that? But when you go to therapy and try it out and actually find a good therapist, because not every therapist is good. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna put my face mask on. I'm just gonna leave it and let it dry. But not all therapists are good. You definitely need to find a therapist that's right for you. You might go through a couple before you find like, oh, I like them, they fit me, I could see myself talking to them once a week, twice a week, whatever. You might just have to just look through those needles in the haystack, you know, to find somebody who best fits you. And I know I have, and I've gone through a couple therapists at this point, and you know, my first one was good. You know, I don't feel like none of my therapists have been bad personally, but I definitely have had some that are better than others. Personally, I prefer Black therapists. I have had therapists that are not Black. I've had Black men. I've had Black women. My current therapist is a Black man, and I really appreciate it because, for one, they can definitely understand my experiences. May not everyone, because clearly a Black man can't understand, you know, the lived experience of being a Black woman in America, but they still could be more knowledgeable than if I had a white woman or white man, you know? Okay, so I'm back. My mask is basically dry on my face. These parts could dry more, as you can see. It's outlined, but I probably caked a little bit too much on there, and I don't want to leave it on too long because my skin will get irritated. It's very sensitive, but I'm gonna go ahead and wash this off with some water and a washcloth. What I do is I'll take a warm to hot washcloth and I put it on my face and I'll press it and then start to pull the mask off like that. I don't know if that's the best way to do it, but this is how I do it. And yeah, so this is what my skin looks like. I don't know if y'all can tell the difference, but it definitely feels cleaned. So now I'm gonna just follow up with some CeraVe moisturizing cream. I use this every day. It's the only thing that keeps my skin from not being dry and not getting too oily in the summer either. So moisturize heavily once I do this mask because again, it can make my skin really dry. But yeah, so I conclude my statement about therapy. I think everybody should go at least once. I am going to leave those resources in the description box that you can use if you're looking for a therapist or just want to try again if you already tried before but you didn't have a good experience. Not every first experience is going to be a good experience, but that's no reason to give up. Mental health is important. It is the staple for who you are as an individual, as a human being, and should be cared for. And it's just as important as your physical health. And I wish more people would understand that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, my little TED talk about why I think everybody should go to therapy at least once. Please leave any video recommendations in the comment section below per usual. I hope to see you all in the comment section of my next video and check out the video I posted before this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and turn on your notification bell and so you don't miss any new videos I post. Always mess up on that part. But yeah, I will see you guys later. Bye.